Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The news coming now is that Najib Balala, the Uhuru era tourism CS, who was the first cabinet secretary from Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet to congratulate William Ruto after the 2022 general election, has been arrested. Now, the Uhuru era CS, who comes from Mombasa, was arrested by EACC officials from his Nairobi residence, and he's supposed to be flown to Mombasa, then to Malindi, where he's going to face his charges. And I want to look at what Balala, the charges Balala is facing. According to anti-graft agency EACC, detectives from the graft arrested former tourism CS Balala. Balala is facing facing 10 charges over allegations that the tourism fund fraudulently paid 8.5 billion to set up the coast branch of Kenya Utalii College, later renamed Ronald Ngala Utalii College. Ethics and Anti-Corruption EACC spokesperson Eric Ngumbi said Balala will be flown to Mombasa from Nairobi, and then later. The 8.5 billion Utalii College Kilifi campus anti-graft agency confirms. So as to whether that construction has stalled or not is yet to be confirmed, or rather it's about giving of tenders. As I said, he was the first cabinet secretary to congratulate William Ruto. Number two, the arrest, there's some two other developments I'm seeing. I don't know why former state officials, high-ranking state officials, when they're arrested, they're mostly taken to Mombasa. When Nyakang was arrested, she was driven at night and all the way taken to Mombasa court. That is where she was charged. I don't know why not Nairobi. And then even Balala will be charged in a Malindi court. But of course I understand some people fear that if these leaders are to be charged in Nairobi court, then crowd can easily mill around those courts and can cause attention. That's number one. Number two, I think there is some good friendly courts to the government. But then this arrest is on Friday. And Friday arrests were highly vilified by the crop of Kenya Kwanza leaders who were at that time against Uhuru Kenyatta. And arrest Friday means Kamata Friday. Because if you're arrested on Friday and you fail to get a bail, then you are likely to spend your all weekend in cells until Monday. So my good friend, another good friend of mine who works in the security forces, tells me that when orders come from above for someone to be arrested on Friday, then those charges are also covered with some emotions. In fact, he says directly in layman's, mkubwa akisema mshike mtu Friday, hiyo hapo jua tu mkubwa amekasirika na huyo mtu. Ni kama sasa kuna mambo haiendi sawa. It's never about the case. In fact, there's nothing that stops them. And remember, next week is Christmas. So if Balala fails to get bail today, if he's presented in court and fails to get bail, then Monday is Christmas. Then Tuesday is Boxing Day. So he can be released on Wednesday. So that is why, has someone decided that Balala is going to spend the Christmas in police cell? That is what Kamata Friday that means. However, let's put this arrest into a context. It comes at a time Ukuri Yatani and other officials within the treasury have been vilified, with media reports emerging that ESC have been trying to pursue, or rather they are facing arrest towards the controversial 12 billion telecom sale when the last days of Uhuru Kenyatta's reign. And I want to delve here a bit because I still don't understand why we are pursuing people on this 12 billion deal, while Cabinet reversed that deal on in October. So if the William Ruto's cabinet reversed the buyout, the telecom buyout, then it means government were in the process of recouping that money that maybe was spent from exchequer to buy it. So I still don't understand why even that case is pursued. But that is one context, because if Balala becomes the first cabinet secretary to have worked with Uhuru Kenyatta to be arrested, and that is not something you can take lightly. In the corridors, it is also something to send a political message. We are going to look at that. Number two, the second context here is Uhuru is back in the political space and have lately been inspecting and lately was pictured inspecting Karimenu Dam in Kiambu County. Something that political observers saw as one of the strategies, or one of the clearest indication that, he wanted to send a message that even if you guys are talking about me, that this is the dam I built, or rather there is a legacy project that I did. And the choice of going there with Margaret Kenyatta was just for it to look like a family. No, they were in casual with Margaret Kenyatta. It was just to, just to show that I'm just relaxing. Maybe I'm to home, I'm just relaxing. It was not something very official. Even though he went earlier, some 2 days earlier, and then Pauline Njoroge shared the photos some days later. So that maybe just showed you that, of course, if you look at the way the photos were taken, it was very intentional. It was very intentional. If you look at this photo, the person that took that photo took a middle shot, likely kama established shot kidogo, because the target was to show us how Uhuru Kenyatta is dressed, and the way they, if you look at the posture they're taking there, and also to show you the project. You could still take that photo and you make us not to know that it's Karimenu Dam. The person wanted to see, you could see the dam in the foreground. You could see the dam in the foreground. So that is another context that I've just linked to this. And so what is, I want to tell you that in Kenya, before any other thing is done, and just picking it from what my friend in the security sector said, that mtu akishikwa Friday, hapo jua hiyo mkubwa ameleta shida. And it is normally intentional. So this arrest, according to me, is to run a political pilot narrative. Kenya Kwanza knows very well, as the year is closing, Kenyans are complaining. And I think I listened to the birthday boy, but the happy birthday to William Samoei Arap Ruto. Yeah, that birthday was yesterday. I don't know why most of us forgot. I don't know, we should even wish him happy birthday or a sad birthday. The Kenyans, I realized Kenyans forgot. There was no more think about it. Even the leaders didn't post. Quite many more leaders didn't post. I just saw a post from Moses Kuria, Ndindi Nyoro, who is his friend, who is his closest friend, I think his best friend. Let me check if he was posted. Yes. Yeah, Ndindi Nyoro posted. Yeah, so but it was a bit low-key. That birthday was low-key. So the boy was telling us yesterday that we should be so positive, we should not complain about what is going on. I want to tell you the political narrative that this arrest is supposed to run. Number one, I think the comeback of Uhuru Kenyatta has made Kenya Kwanza to unleash all the weapons they have on Uhuru Kenyatta. And if you look at the charges that Nani is facing, that Najib Balala is facing, which I think we will maybe get full details in the course of the day, it is about construction of Utalii College in Kilifi. So who is the cabinet secretary in charge of tourism? That is Alfred Mutua. So Alfred Mutua was even recently in Kilifi, and I think that was around Vipingo. and was telling the contractors on some projects there on tourism sector that they will have to work day and night to ensure that the projects are brought to logical conclusion. So there is a stalled project. What this arrest is supposed to show is to amplify stalled projects under Uhuru era. And why? To amplify those stalled projects, that as much as Uhuru Kenyatta is coming out to show us what he has done in Karimenu Dam, which is in Kiambu, there is a project somewhere that stalled during his era because of corruption. That is a big political message, and I can tell you, it is part of the strategy. Because Uhuru Kenyatta is back, you will see a lot. I think 2024, we are going to see a lot of dramas. You know, you're looking at the jokers of Kanini Kegan, Sabina Chege, Uhuru era CS, Najib Balala now getting arrested. There is something about this, and it is about that legacy. I want to say for sure, you can take away everything from Uhuru Kenyatta, and I need to say Uhuru Kenyatta was not perfect. Yes, not perfect. No one is perfect, and you can take a lot of, you can take away many things from him. But the dividends of his legacy projects will remain with us. The dams he constructed and quite a number of things he did, those ones you can't take away from him. Because as many people say, himself, he doesn't benefit. You know, he doesn't benefit from these projects. No, those projects belongs to Kenyans. And he doesn't benefit from them. Number two, this arrest is a strategy to send shivers down the spine of the CSS and Uhuru Kenyatta civil servants who have been facing probes to chicken out on Uhuru's shadow. And I want to ask you, if there is someone who worked with Uhuru Kenyatta, he wakes up in the morning and finds out that, wow, one person from their cabinet has been arrested. And that is Najib Balala. And maybe that leader or that public service, one way or the other, he has the political connections to State House and maybe to William Ruto. You know what that woman or that man will do? He'll pick up his phone and start making those connections, start looking for that network. And I do believe William Ruto might have realized that the team around Uhuru Kenyatta, or maybe because Uhuru Kenyatta is coming back, he might be consolidating. He might be consolidating. And Najib Balala is to send a message to show that, you know what, we have just started and we can arrest you. You know, there have been a lot of arrests. And my biggest problem with this country, and maybe I'll look at this at the end of this video. Now, I think Najib Balala is Uhuru era CS. You cannot delink Najib Balala with Uhuru Kenyatta. You cannot delink this case, this corruption scandal, with Uhuru Kenyatta era tenure, because it was actually all that happened during Uhuru Kenyatta tenure. I think their deep state is in a grand scheme to vilify, attack the personality of Uhuru Kenyatta to counter his growing popularity. And I want to tell you for a fact, the two popular politicians in this country now, nationwide, Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, those two politicians are very popular. In fact, Uhuru Kenyatta is more popular. And even if you want to know, Uhuru Kenyatta is even more popular now, is look at newspapers. For me, I normally buy newspapers. Just sample newspapers from Monday to Friday. And tell me the way, sample Standard Nation, just the two giant papers. And even the other tablets. You'll see the way his name slightly appears in the headline. And if it's not in the headline, then when the byline there, you will always find him. His name will be somewhere around there. So that growing popularity and the state is unleashing everything to show the country that as much as you guys are getting up and cheering Uhuru Kenyatta, I don't want you to marvel at him because of this and that. Now, I am seeing something. There is a high possibility that Najib Balala is falling out with William Ruto. By the way, there was even a job he was given. There was a position he was given, if my memory serves me right. There was a position Najib Balala was given by William Ruto. Now, this arrest points out to a high-profile fallout between William Ruto and Najib Balala, just like what I said. And could it be possibly that Najib Balala is also rolling back to Mombasa politics? Is he planning to come back to Mombasa politics? You know, sometimes this it's something that you cannot wish away. The corruption cases is normally a political rope that is used to drag politicians down. It's a weapon, and it's normally weaponized on politics. Someone should not even lie to you. Most of these arrests, just the same way some of these people around William Ruto used to complain that they are being arrested on political grounds, on flimsy charges on political grounds. Arrests are normally political. And if someone has not fallen out with the president, maybe someone believes, you know, this person needs to give me kickback. And even within the EACC houses, there are people who say that some cases don't even move up because people ground investigations, they bribe. You know, there is massive bribery. And that is why sometimes if I see EACC going to arrest police officers that are soliciting 2,000, I do agree with Ahmed Nasser that sometimes we go for petty 2,000. You know, people who are just hustlers. You know, nowadays, I'm sorry to say this, some police, quite a section of police officers behave like hustlers, and you can understand. Yeah, you can understand. Things are not very strong, and people are trying to look for opportunities. Now, I want to put up something, and this is what can help this country. I am one person that know very well, and I buy the concepts by many analysts and many economists that we needed to work on our expenditure. Unless we work on our expenditure, we are not getting our way back. And corruption is one of the things that has really affected us. But to President Ruto, yes, Najib Balala, 8.5 billion is a huge deal. Being seen as fighting corruption is different with fighting corruption. And even for you to show up and show the country that I am fighting corruption, so that you separate politics with corruption, then this is the challenge. You know, I've listened to the president saying, leaders, William Ruto saying, leaders know what to be done, the right thing, but they don't want to do it. It's true, and even Kenyans agree with the president that leaders know what should be done, but they don't want to do it. Now, this weapon on corruption, the day it will not be selective is the day Kenyans will take seriousness with it. But so long as it is still those who don't set political right, then Kenyans will not really see it. So what I'm saying, even in William Ruto's cabinet, there have been grave corruption scandals. We have seen edible oil. The fertilizer subsidy has been one of the longest standing. We have seen the issues of the fuel. We've seen, you know, there's a bit controversial 17 billion oil deal. We've heard of other scandals. Now, if you mean well, start with those, arrest those around you who you feel are, because there are people. We've seen the contraband sugar, quite many. So if you don't want to be seen as selective, and there is a man who is not on a political mission, arrest someone or two within you, because it's not that corruption just happened. Corruption is still deeply rooted here in William Ruto administration. It is there, and even himself, he knows that. So sort out. There have been cases about how, you know, Nyakama has been telling us about exaggerations. Walk to treasury. Let you see you fishing out some one or two people. about this so that you are not seen as politicizing the fight against corruption. Thank you.